Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all the top 3 stocks that all of you should be keeping in your watch list for the next few days. And I'm also going to be doing an update on some of the stocks that were mentioned previously and why they moved the way they did. All right, right after the intro. Alright, y'all, before we begin, again, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in. And also don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel, alright? So let's get started right off the bat. We gotta talk about what happened with the SPY. Let's look at the 1 hour. So last week was super choppy and very brutal over here. After this top had been in, it was really difficult, especially for swing traders to make any money in this chop fed zone. And this right here is the chop fed zone. This is where position sizings should decrease. This is where their strategy should change from swing trading to day trading, right? Because swing trading in these regions is extremely difficult and annoying, and it's just messy. All right, right now we're out of it. We're out of it to the upside, which is a good sign. I think that we're going to go here. We're going to consolidate sideways. And then eventually there's going to be more money coming into the market and bringing us towards 46.50. It looks good for now. It looks good for now. We'll see what happens in the morning, all right? Now, the first stock that all of you should be keeping in your watch list, that one is Visa. All right. And the reason why I want to share Visa with all of you is because of two reasons. Actually, two reasons. The first reason is on a bigger scale. Number one, if you look at the 4 hour, it's been demolished from the highs of 252 all the way down towards 190. A 24% drop, right? And then right now, what I'm seeing on the 4 hour is this falling wedge on the chart. It's right over here. The fallen wedge is quite clean, and it broke out today quite nicely over here in the morning. As soon as my alert rang at like 200 and 200.50 cents, that's when we started buying up calls. Right in the middle of this bar right here, all right? So that's the first reason why I want to share this one with y'all for a potential long. And also, this stock right here is, I believe it's definitely part of the SPY. All right, is it part of the Dow? Maybe, maybe not. It might be. It might be. I think it probably is. And those also are recovering. The indices are recovering right now, and I think that this is gonna go a little bit higher. My price target for Visa is approximately $215 right over here, right? And most likely higher towards 220. So that's where you should be keeping your eyes for the stock to go. Another reason why I'm bullish on the stock is because of this. On the 1 hour, there is this inverse head and shoulders. This reverse head and shoulders right over here. Left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder broke right over here. So we may or may not see a little retest at 201 before we see some buyers step in and push the stock higher. Right, we may see this, or we may not see it, especially if everything just jumps up overnight. Then we could see Visa open up at 205 and then run towards 210, consolidate, and then eventually go towards 215 like we want to. So definitely keep Visa on your watch list as the first one for this video. Now, the next one for this video, that stock is Netflix. All right. Now, Netflix looks good. I like Netflix for this reason and for this reason alone. If you look on the 5-minute, you can clearly see that there is a bullish pennant on the chart. This is clean for like a swing. Like whenever you see this, a good spot to get in is like either at the close or if you got in early right there. Either one are good entries for this stock. I definitely think that it's gonna open up at like 617, right? And then it's gonna run all the way up towards like 660, 630, and maybe 635 somewhere over here in the morning. I think it's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna take too long to show me that. And another reason why I like Netflix is because of this. If you look at the daily time frame and you zoom in, number one, it got to a previous level of support, as you can see, somewhere over here. It got a little bit lower, but it's holding up quite well. Okay. Number two, if you zoom into the combination of these two candles right there, these two, 1 and 2, you can clearly see that there is a bullish harami on the chart. And the bullish harami is clean, a doji with kind of a fat body over here. And it's in the lower half of this candle right there. Usually the next one should look like this, where we open up here and then we run like that. Usually, ideally, all right? And then eventually we might even see something higher, especially if we see some more momentum in the market, okay? So definitely keep Netflix on your watch list for tomorrow and the next day after. The last one that all of you should be keeping in your watch list, that stock is NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Line. And the reason why y'all should keep keeping this on your watches is because of this thing right there. It broke out in the morning. I bought Visa instead. They both made money, but both of them were running, so I just decided to pick this one. I just decided to pick Visa instead of this one. I may add this one as well. It's at the lows right now. It's at the lows right here. It dropped by like 40%, I believe, from the highs of 30 all the way down to $18. And there's some money flooded into this stock. And this pattern on here is actually kind of consistent with all of the, at least the majority. It's kind of clean, not as clean as NCLH, but if you look at the other cruise lines like Royal Cruise Lines, for example, that one showed a bullish harami next to another bullish harami right here, and then followed by a pop, right? So each of them had that triangular shape on there, and they broke out this morning. It has a lot more room to run, especially if you look on the left side right here with the gap, right? So I expect to move, especially on RCL, to move up to like 77, maybe 78 tomorrow. And I would expect NHGL to make its move all the way up towards like $23 within the next few days. This is not a place that you want to be bearish, especially at these lows. It has a history of recovering, and it dropped conveniently, at least conveniently dropped, especially after this bear flag right here. In one of the update, I'm gonna show you another bear flag that happened on another stock that I talked about before, but there was a bear flag over here and a breakdown and a flush follow. Yeah, see, so this right here makes this make sense, right? But right now it's about to recover, so watch this thing for a bounce, okay? So that's the third stock that all of you should be keeping in your watch list. Now let's do some update on the certain stock that I've mentioned previously. The first one that I'm going to discuss, that one is NVDA. All right. And NVDA, I shared this one with y'all previously. Let me just erase all of these drawings. I shared this one previously with y'all when we were over. For this reason, let me see. For this reason right here, right? When we get, again, when the market tops, these bullish patterns that show up at the top, you gotta be really, really careful. Yes, we did buy it, and at the same time, you gotta be cautious, right? So we bought it over here at around like 325, 326, expecting the bigger move to the upside, right? But when there is this kind of weakness, especially the gap down right here, and also the SPY was kind of shaky and tipping over and looking all choppy, not very nice, right? I zoomed in to the 5-minute chart, and if you zoom into the 5-minute chart, you can see that what happened the next day right here is not very pleasant. This is an opportunity for short sellers right there. You see that? Y'all see what's happening, right? So as I'm looking at this, I'm holding my contracts. I'm seeing this thing move. And then when I see the breakdown right here, I get out because as a short seller, this is a place, at least for a day trade to the short side. So I decided to immediately get out, and we got out at exactly 327. We didn't make much money on NVDA because obviously the move that we were looking for did not happen, but it happened to the short side. after this setup right over here on the 30th of November, right? So it dipped a little bit more. It dipped more and more and more. And then it tried to bounce again the next day. It failed to get above the previous highs of 333. And then the market rolled over again. Again, it was very, very choppy. But I was watching this thing for a potential long tail still to see if I could re-enter the stock, especially after seeing this thing right here. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's trying to get bigger. Maybe it's trying to farm another opportunity for later, right? So let's be patient about this and let's see. So it was going sideways. It then went this thing, correct? Everything was just done. Everything over here, right here. This is what happens when this thing breaks down like that. This is immediately nullified, and it's just everything is just bearish at that point, right? And the whole market was collapsing as well. So that's the reason why this thing did not work out and why we got out when we did. And also looking at AMD, I told you guys about this thing, right? About the ascending flag over here. After I released the video, it got to resistance and also formed that same thing that I just drew on the video. These two stocks tend to follow one another quite nicely. Over here, forming a bearish opportunity again, right? And then it went all the way down to retest the previous floor right over here at 149 the next day. And then it fell to hold it and immediately broke down. So that's kind of like the way you should, I guess, look at it and also adapt. Like when you see these plays, and yeah, you can buy it, but definitely keep your eyes on it. Like you can't just get into a specific stock and just ignore everything and not pay attention to what's going on. There's different factors that are affecting the direction of these stocks. So, and that can also cause the bullish setups to break down, or even the bearish setups to actually to turn bullish and make the chart look ugly. So you gotta keep your eyes on the chart, especially as you are trading. All right, so that's like some of the reasons why these two did not work out. And at that point, we're just really bearish on the overall market. Another stock that I've talked about before was SE. SE was another, somebody asked about SE when it was around like 300, right over here. I told y'all to watch this thing for a continuation. It got to 300 and kind of rejected off of the SMA on a daily chart. And then later on that specific day, on the 30th, which was around the same time when NVDA turned bearish and AMD turned bearish, if you look on the 30-minute, you can clearly see that there was a bear flag, which I drew for y'all for NCL, right? A bear flag right over here, which is exactly the same as NHCL, which I drew for y'all over here, right? Exactly the same. See? Bear flag right there, okay? SC again, bear flag. So when this thing happened, then our perspective changed. As you can see on the watch list right here, on the 30th, like around the close over here, watch this thing for a drop towards the $250 region. And it did drop, and some people were able to make some money on that one for sure. So that's kind of why some things do not work out. In the market, you have to be, let me change this thing. Yeah, in the market, you have to be paying attention to what is actually happening in the front of you. And a lot of things can change really fast. And you have to adapt. You have to change your perspective and kind of go with the flow. Try not to fight the trend, especially when new things form. The chart will tell you, like eventually the chart will make it clear. First, I was bullish on SC, and then later on it formed a bear flag, right? And then I kind of changed everything and then was able for me to like foresee the new price target of lower 250. So try to like adapt. I know it's a little bit hard, especially if you're a beginner, but with practice you get the hang of it. All right, so that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, it helps the channel a lot and it allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you would like to be part of our private Discord community, you can find that as the very first link in the description of the video below. Also, if you're not following us on social media, you can find me at Paul and Guma and at PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter, right? And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, I left some very basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 15 minutes or less for you to get signed up with all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850 right after you sign up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Nguma with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video, right? Enjoy the outro.